Thank the member for Grey. The question is the bill be now read a second time. I call the member for Bendigo.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. And the government members of parliament, the Nationals and the Liberals, they just don't get it. 700,000 workers are set to have their pay cut just in retail and hospitality alone, and that's before the employers get their way in beauty, in hairdressing and in restaurants and in pubs and clubs. There'll be even more workers who will have their pay cut as a result of this government's failure to stand up for low-paid workers if they don't take action. And how much a week? It's a straight pay cut, $77 per week. And we've heard examples in this place and in the community about that impact. We have heard from Kerry, a pharmacist assistant who earns about $30,000 a year. She's a part-time worker, and the cut to the Sunday penalty rate is worth $1,500 to Kerry. We've also heard from Margarita. Margarita is a room attendant in Melbourne, works in some of the most expensive hotels in Melbourne, and her pay cut, she earns about $30,000 a year, will be about $2,000 a year. Now, these are people who work for big companies and small companies, not just the small businesses that these mob over there say that this will help out. These are also big businesses as well. And just to demonstrate how out of touch the MPs opposite are, their MPs, the Liberal Nationals, have said that this pay cut is a gift to young people, that this will affect people in the margins, that they are pleased with this decision. And we can't go any further than the Minister for Small Business himself, who last week claimed, well, some people, I get a travel allowance, others get penalty rates. To compare an MP's travel allowance, a claiming of about $50,000 a year, compared to someone's entire wage of $30,000 is just outrageous. It demonstrates how out of touch this mob are. This is also the same person who said not that long ago that politicians earn less than people in the private sector, and they did not deserve as much scrutiny. Less than people in the private sector? Perhaps the Minister for Small Business is talking about CEOs, because he's definitely not talking about the people who work for small business. He's definitely not talking about retail workers in the private sector. He's definitely not talking about hospitality workers. I'd like to see the people in this place turn up for $30,000 a year. I reckon we might be a few MPs short if we had to survive on the wages that people in the private sector working in retail and hospitality try to survive on. This is a government that is desperately out of touch. They are also trying to spread some very dishonest propaganda about how collective and enterprise bargaining works. And we cannot get further than the example of McDonald's. As I've said, in this place and in my own electorate, you can't just talk about the Sunday rate. You have to talk about the Monday to Friday rate, and you have to talk about all the allowances. At McDonald's, a full-time senior weekly wage earned up to $70 above the award, $70 a week better off overall because of enterprise bargaining union negotiations. The EBA also delivers minimum hourly shifts. It delivers family violence leave, compassionate leave and study leave. And for anybody working in McDonald's, there are a lot of younger people working there. They take advantage of their study leave. There's also older people working there. As the Deputy Opposition Leader said just a moment ago, majority of the people working in these sectors are women. They are women, some of them are younger women, some of them are older women, where this has become the primary income. Their wage is the primary income in their household, and they are trying to survive. They're trying to pay their bills. They're trying to support their kids. As one retail assistant told me in Tasmania, this is how she pays for her son's basketball. Another retail worker told me that this is how she pays for her daughter's ballet lessons. And what this government is saying is they are backing big business. They are not stepping in to protect these workers. Instead, they want to see these children miss out on ballet and basketball lessons. These pay cuts are the wrong decision by the Fair Work Commission, and we are calling upon the government to support Labor's bill to protect low-paid workers, and to do it now, before it becomes a free-for-all and flows through and affects workers in all these other sectors. As we have heard today in the papers, this penalty rate cut alone will give a massive whack to the budget. And if the government wants to stop that happening, then they need to step in now. The government needs to support Labor's bill, this private member's bill, not just for the workers but for the community and for the economy.
I thank the member for Bendigo.